Hi everyone, welcome to Harsha Trainings. In this lesson number 1 on the topic ratio and proportions. We get questions frequently in every competitive exams, whether you write banking exam, RRB exam, SSC exam, CIT exam, whatever the exam, we get questions frequently from this topic ratio and proportions. Actually, we are planning to post 12 lessons on the topic ratio and proportions. Now, we are going to learn introduction about ratio and proportions. Okay, first of all, what is the ratio? Look at the screen guys here. First of all, what is the ratio? Okay, so look at the screen guys here. First of all, what is the ratio? So ratio means comparisons. Okay, ratio means comparison. For example, 10 rupees. For example, 10 rupees is to 100 liters. What is the ratio guys? Anyone? Okay, so somebody is saying 1 is to 10. Okay, it is a wrong answer because here is given 10 rupees and here is given 100 liters. How can you calculate rupees and liters? Okay, so ratio means two quantities. So 10 rupees, for example, here also 100 rupees. Okay, so two quantities. So 10 rupees is one quantity and 100 rupees is another quantity. Two quantities are same units is called the ratio. So then answer is 1 is to 10. Okay, so ratio means two quantities are same units is called the ratio. Okay, so for example, A comma B, the ratio is A is to B or A by B is same. Okay, A is to B or A by B is same. For example, so 2 is to 3 or 2 by 3 is same. Okay, so ratio means two quantities are same units is called the ratio. Okay, for example, three quantities A comma B comma C. The ratio is A is to B is to C. The ratio is A is to B is to C. Just remember guys, ratio means two quantities are same units is called the ratio. Okay, and next second point is proportion. Proportion means two ratios are equal. A is to B is one ratio and C is to D is another ratio. So two ratios are equal is called the proportion. Okay, so A is to B is one ratio and C is to D is another ratio. Two ratios are equal is called the proportion. The proportion formation is very important guys. The proportion formation is AD is equal to BC. It's a very important. Okay, the proportion formation is AD is equal to BC. For example, so 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 6. Find out the proportion. Find out the proportion. What is the proportion formation? AD is equal to BC. For example, A value is 2 and B value is 3 and C value is 4 and D value is how much? 6. And substitute here guys. A value is how much? 2 into, so D value is how much? 6 is equal to, B value is how much? 3 into, C value is how much? 4. Okay, 6 2s are 12. Okay, 3 4s are 12. So 12 is equal to 12. It is a proportion. Okay, for example, 12 is equal to 10. It is a proportion? No, it is not a proportion. The proportion means two ratios are equal is called the proportion. The proportion formation is AD is equal to BC. Okay, so here the proportion. So in this proportion, 3 points are very important guys. The first point here, fourth proportion. Okay, the fourth proportion. The fourth proportion formula is here. A is to B is equal to C is to D. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So fourth proportion means find out the D value. Find out the D value. Okay, proportion formation is AD is equal to BC and D is equal to BC by A. What is the formula guys? Fourth proportion formula, D is equal to BC by A. For example, so 2 comma 3 comma 4. Find out the fourth proportion. Find out the fourth proportion. So fourth proportion is we don't know, let D. Okay, or X, no issue guys. Okay, what is the formula here? So D is equal to BC by A. Here BC is how much? So 3 into 4 by A value is how much? 2. Okay, let me calculate. So 2 1s are 2 2s are. Okay, next 3 into 2, 6. So fourth proportion is how much, guys? 6. Is it clear, all of you? Just remember this formula, guys. More than enough. Okay, so what is the fourth proportion formula? D is equal to BC by A. So that is the first point. And coming to the second point, so third proportion. Okay, so A is to B is equal to, so B is to C. 1, 2, 2 and 3. So third proportion means find out the C value. Find out the C value. The proportion formation is AD is equal to BC. Same like this, guys. Okay, so AC is equal to B into B, B square. Okay, then C is equal to, so B square by A. B square by A. So third proportion formula is C is equal to B square by A. Just remember, guys, this formula. Is it clear, all of you? Okay, next coming to the third point, second proportion or mean proportion. Okay, look at the screen, guys, here. So A is to B is equal to B is to C. 1, 2, 2, 3. So second proportion means find out the B value. Okay, the proportion formation is AD is equal to BC. Okay, then AC is equal to B into B, B square. Find out the B value, right? Then B is equal to root of AC. Okay, so second proportion or mean proportion formula is B is equal to root of AC. Just remember this point, guys. Okay, so this point, just remember these three formulas, guys. Fourth proportion formula, D is equal to BC by A, and third proportion formula, C is equal to B square by A, and second proportion or mean proportion formula is B is equal to root of AC. Okay, so is it clear, guys, all of you, what is the meaning of ratio and what is the meaning of proportion? So coming to the next point, types of ratios. The first point here, duplicate ratio, and second one subduplicate ratio, and third one triplicate ratio, and fourth one subtriplicate ratio, and fifth one inverse ratio, and next one compound ratio. Let us see first point here, duplicate ratio. For example, guys, A is to B, the duplicate ratio is A square is to B square. Okay, the duplicate ratio, the A is to B duplicate ratio is A square is to B square. For example, 4 is to 5. The duplicate ratio is 4 square is to 5 square. 4 square is how much? 16. 5 square is how much? 25. So the answer is 16 is to 25. Okay, so next coming to the second point, subduplicate ratio. A is to B, the subduplicate ratio is, so root of A is to root of B. Root of A is to root of B. For example, so 16 is to 25. Find out the subduplicate ratio. So root of 16 is to root of 25. What is the answer, guys? So 4 is to 5. The subduplicate ratio, the formula is root of A is to root of B. And coming to the next one, triplicate ratio. So triplicate means cube. Okay, for example, A is to B, the triplicate ratio is A cube is to B cube. Okay, so A is to B, the triplicate ratio is A cube is to B cube. For example, I'm taking same example, 4 is to 5, the triplicate ratio is 4 cube is how much? 64, and 5 cube is how much? 125. So then answer is 64 is to 125. Okay, the triplicate ratio formula is A cube is to and B cube. And next coming to the subtriplicate ratio. For example, A is to B, the subtriplicate ratio is cube root of A is to cube root of B. For example, I'm taking same example. So 64 is to 125. The subtriplicate ratio is, it means, so cube root of 64 and cube root of 125. So what is the answer, guys? 4 is to 5. Then answer is 4 is to 5. Just remember, guys, subtriplicate ratio formula is cube root of A is to cube root of B. And next move on to next point, inverse ratio. It's a very important point, guys. Okay, for example, A is to B, the inverse ratio is, A is to B, the inverse ratio is 1 by A is to 1 by B. So A is to B, the inverse ratio is 1 by A is to 1 by B. Okay, just cross multiplication, guys. Just cross multiplication. Then answer is B is to A. Okay, so two quantities is given. Two quantities is given. So just reverse, guys. Just remember, just reverse. Okay, A is to B, the inverse ratio is A is to B, the inverse ratio is B is to A. For example, guys, for example, so 2 is to 3, the inverse ratio is 3 is to 2. Two quantities is given, just remember reverse. For example, three quantities is given. So 2 is to 3 is to 4. Okay, so what is the inverse ratio? What is the inverse ratio? Look at the screen, guys, here. So 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4. Okay, so 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4. So find out the LCM, guys. So 2, 3, 4. What is the LCM, guys? So 12. Okay, what is the LCM? 12. 1 by 2 into 12 is to 1 by 3 into 12 is to 1 by 4 into 12. Okay, 4 ones are 4 threes are 3 ones are 3 fours are 2 ones are 2 six are. The final answer is here 6 is to 4 is to 3. That is the inverse ratio. Okay, only two quantities given, just reverse. So 3 or more quantities given, just follow this process, guys. Follow this process. I think no need this process also. Okay, look at the screen, guys, here. So the given information here, so find out the inverse ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 4. Okay, first find out the A value, just close them the A, and remaining is 3 into 4. So 3 fours are 12, right? 3 fours are how much? 12. And find out the B value, just close them the B, and remaining is 2 fours are 8. Okay, and find out the C value, just close them the C, and remaining is 2 into 3, 6. Let me calculate, guys, here. Okay, so 2 6 and 2 4 and 2 3. The final answer is how much, guys, here? 6 is to 4 is to 3 and 6 is to 4 is to 3. You can use any logic, guys, no issue, guys. Finally, we will get the same answer. Okay, just remember inverse ratio. Two quantities is given, just remember reverse. So 3 or more quantities given, go through this process and this process. So no issue, guys. Finally, we will get the same answer. Okay, and coming to the last one, compound ratio. For example, guys, for example, A is to B comma, so B is to C comma, C is to D comma, so D is to E. Find out the compound ratio. Find out the compound ratio. Look at the screen, guys, here. So A by B into B by C into C by D into D by E into and so on. This is the compound ratio. This is a compound ratio. Okay, for example, guys, so 2 is to 3 comma, 3 is to 4 comma, 4 is to 5 comma, 5 is to 6. Find out the compound ratio. Find out the compound ratio. So 2 is to 3 means 2 by 3 is same, right? A is to B or A by B is same. Okay, into 3 by 4 into 4 by 5 into 5 by 6. Okay, let me calculate, guys, here. So 5 5 is cancelled, 4 4 is cancelled, and 3 3 is cancelled. Then 2 1s are and 2 3s are. The final answer is 1 by 3 or 1 is to 3. That is the compound ratio. That is the compound ratio. Just remember this formula, guys. Okay, find out the compound ratio. So A by B into B by C into C by D into D by E and so on. Okay, is it clear, guys? So approximately 6 points here, right? So duplicate ratio, subduplicate ratio, triplicate ratio, subtriplicate ratio, and inverse ratio and compound ratio. Just remember, guys, these 6 points. I think very, very dead easy and very important points also.